Walrix because they polymorphed him too far away from the fight.
Where's Arthur?
He's in it.
So we got one person there. Any thoughts on what to draw today? I really don't have a plan set out. Do some scratches for now. Hey. I just got done eating. Do just a simple... I'm just doing something in pencil for right now. This is just an idea. This is not the final thing. That's a huge room. What if I did like a castle? Something along the lines of, so we got 10 from here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, lost count, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. I like, so do something along the lines of this. Maybe have some sort of, let's get rid of this. Sorry for the camera wiggle while erasing. It's a byproduct of my ghetto setup. So we did something like that. So that's out 20. 20 is an awful long ways forward there. Let's bump it out to here. 30 or 20, 30. So 15. 15. 15. 20. 10. 15. Let me throw this over here for right now. So we did something like a do. Because I hate making things round, so let's make it, what is it, octagon, hexagon, 1, 2, 3, 8. So do something along the lines of that. And then, where is center? So we have 15, so another 15, another 15. So this is center for us. Pretty grand steps at 20 feet wide. Bring it out 10 feet. It's kind of the thing. And then this is like a landing. Bring it down. So we got a, like so. Another little 5 foot sort of landing. Oh, what if we did that and brought it out around, so this becomes like so. And another, we'll kick it out like this. This is freaking huge, right? 30 feet, that's a big castle. We'll go with it. Another 5 feet. We got, like so. Get some doors in here, like a double door. We'll continue on the path out, something grandiose, maybe some sort of a flower garden of some sort here, or pond. Something another there. Seems like a reasonable deal. Maybe then we can draw some different floors of these towers. We'll need to figure those out. On the inside, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about that. Yeah, because we could do a door here and a door here. Yeah, that'll be tricky for me to draw. I'm not. I need to think about that kind of three-dimensionally, what that's going to look like. Anyways, you walk in. We got big, like 5-foot pillars every 20. I don't know. Should there be just one big throne in this room? Should this maybe be like sectioned off, like here, and there's a throne out in here, and then like back here there's a door, and maybe a door, and some sort of stairs that go down. Do something like that. We did that. We could put a wall here, maybe a door. Maybe not do that. So yeah. And this is like a. Let's see what is. It seems awfully wasteful to just have a big throne, but book it and do some sort of a I just realized I was probably way off camera there as I was drawing outside. I need to get a different tripod for this camera, something that can get up a little higher and whatnot. A lot of the times when I'm doing these live streams and the resulting time lapse, I find myself way down at the bottom because I'm drawing it close to me here. I suppose I could move the camera. I'll try to keep it so it's all right. Let's get this out. How are we going to be looking like so? I'm going to try to keep it. Also questioning the value of doing these live streams versus just recording and doing the time lapses. Lapsy. Yeah, all right. Draw out some measurements here to help me out. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So we got 80 this way. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And this is going to be offset. I guarantee I'm going to screw that up. I'm going to do my damnedest not to. The other stuff I don't really care about specifics. I want to get the main building in the right spot, so that way when I put it onto this paper, because this is 1/4 inch squares and these are 1/2 centimeter, so even though this paper is a fair amount larger than the notebook that I'll be using, it's about the same number of squares. I think I might have one more in each direction with this larger paper, but that's okay. Plop this over here and try to keep it out of you. Oop, sorry for the microphone bump. Let's just put it over there. So I think what I'll do is try to get a position here. So I don't know, this looks about the halfway point. So if we go 10, 20, 30, 40, put our corner here. 10, 20, 30, 40, put our corner here. That's all right. 10, 20, 30, 40, yep. So it leaves us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, got it in the middle. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And I know you can't probably hardly even see this, but that's all right. I'm just laying out some markers here, so I can start making some lines. Yeah, we'll go with this. So now I have that in place. I'm going to try to keep myself sideways here. I keep wanting to orientate. I tend to orientate the paper in the way that I am thinking of the entrance. So I'm thinking we're going in this way, and so I will tend to hold the paper like this, and I know it's not going to do great for camera, so say something in chat if I'm not doing it. That being said, I don't watch the chat very well as I'm doing these. I'm going to bring up the phone. I meant to do that. So un momento. I don't know that I will use this a ton, but there. All right, I'm gonna try something new. Set up the phone there a little closer to where my eyes are pointing, and see if I do keep an eye on it. But yeah, anyways, let's get rolling. So this is the pen I like to use for kind of the general drawing of walls, at least. So this is like a 0.5, and what I do then is I go over it with a 0.8. Different brand. Brand doesn't matter too much, more the size variant. I did get this pretty sweet set here. Yeah, that'll be focused enough. Copic pens, a multi-liner. This was more bought for the variety. Thing is I really need one in between the 3 and the 5. I feel like the 3 is too small for different, or for drawn walls and whatnot, and the 8 is too big to draw from a first pass. If I veer off or whatever, it's a pretty big marker, pretty big pen, so that's why I do that. But anyways, we'll get to it. I'm probably gonna mute myself for a bit. Well, I see yet another person. Fantastic. Welcome, and we'll see what we end up doing here. I need to get myself a center mark in here. Center mark there. And I know that we talked about, I'm gonna just kind of pencil in a few things here to help prevent mistakes. 10, 15. So for the time being, sorry, child entered thy room. Told him GTFO. Oh, this doesn't look right. It's not. That's alright. Well, that's how we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna have a oval tower of some sort. It's not even gonna be oval. That's alright. This is why I don't typically pre-plan. I'm gonna leave that alone. I probably should have left that corner out. I should have just drawn the exterior. And with that comes today's first nothing to see here. Come again. Thank you. Come again. I need to put a note somewhere for myself to stop trying to pre-plan, bruh. It doesn't work. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go with that. 10, 20, 30, 40. That's our mark. Well, I guess I'd put away my other eraser and just use that. 10, 20, 30, 40. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, a hundo, I believe. I'm going to count this one off again. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, a hundo. Yep, alright. Go with that, and there's our center line. Hokey dokey. Alright, actually, before I do that, I'm gonna try to not to screw this up again. So we were going back 10, 20, and then 10 out, and 15 over. So it would be from here to here. There we go. That's the mark I need. There's our 20. Here is our 15 and our 10. Yeah, here we go. So it'll be from this point to this point. then it will make contact again here to here. And do the same on the other side. So corner, it's in 15. Alright, so we're going to start here. Maybe this will help drawing in some of these details. So I think what we'll do is we will all right. Do I have a mark out here? But my mark is here. Yeah, let's just double check things. 10, 20, 30, 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. So our corner is there. I can deal with, yeah, this. All right, so here's our wall. So this needs to be there. So we are going to have a straight corner there. And kill that mark there. So it's back 20. We're going to pop over here 15. So it'll be to there, to here, corner, over 10. Yep, which is in the center of that. And we'll take it to there. Alright, so now that you can't see a damn thing that I just did there, basically I was off on my corner over here and it was completely thrown it off. We would have had a lopsided castle, and heaven forbid we have a lopsided castle. Everything has to be symmetrical in my world. That's not true, I tend to draw that way. There's a left and a right and they are the same. Oh, it's kind of looking like a dick as I'm going so far, but that will be solved in due time. Alright. Okie dokie, so we do need our center line in here just to, again, it's gotta be a mirror. Alright, so we're gonna have some doors in here, so I am going to bring this over like so. Like so. It's one thing I'm really trying to do better about. I don't like doing the doors where it's a line and then a square around the line. You've got that line in the center. It seems to be a habit that I formed, and I'm really trying to break that habit and leave gaps like this, come in with a smaller pen and pop some doors in there. I tend to, because I don't typically plan the drawings that I'm doing, I tend to just like draw a box, draw a line, and then I'm like, hey, let's throw a happy little door in here and a happy little door in here, and then when I'm in Photoshop is when I have to clean things up. So try not to do that. It's a painful thing to try to break, but anyways, we're making an attempt, trying to get a little better, and yeah. All right, so I think I'm going to swap out So again, for those of you that were here earlier, this is what I typically use for just drawing in the beginnings of walls. It's about a 0.5 in size. I'll come back, and once I get things kind of solidified with a larger pen, 0.8, to go over all of the exterior walls or main walls in a building. When I'm putting in other things and trying to figure out like interiors and stairs and whatnot, I'll typically use a 0.3. I don't have enough experience to make any recommendation on pens. Devon Rue had suggested these, and I've seen them around, so I picked up a small set of 9 pens for like $20 or something like that, and yeah, they work. They put ink on paper. That's the important part. All right, so got a little platform here that we'll come up to. We're gonna have a big set of stairs coming into this castle. So this is a 5 foot. The grid I typically, at least in my mind, have is that the grid is 5 foot square, like a typical. And then I think from here we were gonna bring a platform or a landing, I guess, around. And I had it in my little sketch earlier that there was going to be some sort of like jutting out, but I think what I'm going to do is just continue this going forward. Okie dokie, and I guess since we have the pen out, and like so. Alright, we talked about some sort of like path. I think I'm gonna wait a little bit for that. I want to do some sort of flower bed or water or something or another out here in front of the door, but I think we'll come back to that. Let's kind of focus on interior works. So we'll go, what do we got? 10, 20, 10, 20. This works here. Like a pillar. 20. And then I think we'll get another happy little pillar, and another happy pillar, and his brother, and his sister. Oh, fuck that one up. That's alright. I'll do something a little different. I'll probably fill those in, but for now they're kind of placeholders. And I think what we're going to go with is some sort of a back wall. Let's swap out to the larger. We're back to walls again. Like so. And I think we'll throw in this is some very epic music right now. Like so. Well, the phone chat thing, I don't know what Twitch streamers use for keeping track of their chat. I mean, not that ours is very lively at this point, Mr. One Viewer. But I don't typically look up at my screen. The paper is down here in front of me, and the screen is behind the camera. But I was trying to use my phone, but apparently it doesn't keep it on, and I'm not going to keep touching it to keep it active. All right, I got to give myself a new center line in here since I kind of somewhat intentionally drew those rooms offset. I don't know what their purpose is yet. I do think I'm going to put I think I'm going to put a staircase in here. And I think I want to do it like so. To go, oh, I didn't even think about that. We're gonna need second floors in here. We're going, so this is going down into a basement. Well, I guess we do have these kind of towers here. I'm gonna have to think about how I'm gonna draw these, because you know, even at 2 floors, like what is the arrangement to go up? I suppose I could, you know, I could box these corners here and have a door of some sort. I don't know. Food for thought. We're gonna keep trucking on this. So anyways, we're gonna create kind of the where I would imagine the throne would be. Big fancy chairs. We got a 20 by 15 kind of platform. I think we're gonna go with a staircase going up. I'll clean it up in Photoshop. That looks like ass. That's all right though. That's the character of a hand-drawn map, right? You gotta have the screw-ups. Yeah. Let's see here. I think that's kind of it for the main dealie. I want to kind of, yeah, we'll go with this for now. Come in, say 15 or so feet in. We're gonna have this rug, the royal red carpet, if you will, and we'll just do, you know what, we'll break out super fine. So again, this is the set I was referring to earlier, and there's some interesting things here with these different pen sizes. So Wax Steven is another YouTuber. He does some cartography stuff. He's done a ton of stuff. I've just recently started watching him, and I sent him a couple. Yeah, I can't talk and do this kind of drawing or this very well. I sent him a YouTube video that I put together, and I'll do the same thing with this. I'll do like a time lapse of this whole thing and try to get it down to, you know, 5 to 6 minutes or so. It's a whole lot better than sitting here and watching this for an hour and a half, which is what it typically takes me to do these. But anyways, he had some suggestions of using different pen widths, sizes for to provide more depth into yeah, just to provide more depth, and I don't really know how to take that advice in regards to like what to do with it. I certainly appreciate the advice, but I don't know what to how to do it, and I've been kind of doing some research on YouTube videos and that sort of thing to see if I could maybe find something, or it's like, you know, do wider lines to show something that's further away, and you know, that sort of thing, and haven't found a really good one. And so much of the stuff that you find on, oh, I should have looked at that first. Oh well. Maybe we'll just go with everyone. So much of the stuff that you're going to find on YouTube in regards to illustration or cartography and drawing in general are going to be more focused on Photoshop, digital graphic design, and that's not what I'm looking to do here. I write software for a living. I'm not an artist, and as much as I would love to learn and know how to use Photoshop in a more robust manner, I don't have the time. That's why I do this. I mean, the fact that I'm live streaming this and making the time lapses and whatnot is maybe a second goal, but I just wanted to start making these. This will be the 9th map that I've created. This will probably spawn off into potentially a second floor and a lower floor, so there's 10 and 11, and I'm just trying to do a map or so every few days and release them weekly, and yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing here. All right, hey, we got 3 whole viewers. Fantastic. If you guys have any thoughts on what to add for this, I have 0 plans for this at this point. I had kind of sketched out on paper with a pencil. Thanks, I appreciate that. Yeah, so I had sketched it out on paper prior to this just to give me an idea of something. I didn't sit down with a particular plan for my campaign. I didn't have a need, so I just, let's make a castle. Let's make a kind of a throne room sort of thing. So this is what I had started with, and this is where we are now. I will probably do some sort of a path leading up to this, and I guess we'll just do that. If you guys have thoughts for other pieces to do, I do have stairs going down into a basement, which would probably lead to another map. I do have these towers, which I would expect to have at least 1 floor, so think about maybe how to do those. I don't think I'll do a whole second floor for this, but who knows. I would expect this room to have very high ceilings, 20, 25 feet, something ridiculous like that. And yeah, so anyways, if you have ideas, throw them in the chat, and I really appreciate the feedback there. I think they look interesting or noobish, I guess is the way to put it, but that's why I'm doing this, is to learn something new. What do I want to do here? We'll just kind of like so. What do we end up here? We'll take this off. I'm going to... Yeah, no, we'll stick with this. We can always come back and... Hidden room. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about this this being an obvious like staircase down into a basement of some sort. I was thinking in this bigger of the 2 rooms back here behind kind of the throne to have maybe like a trap door or something like that to go down to a part of the cellars or the basement that isn't immediately visible. So maybe there is some sort of a secret room down in here. I think if I do start a second level, I don't know if I'll do it here today, but if I do start one, I may keep that in mind. Center line, I need a center line. So I think we will go with a big time, kind of a flower water feature of some sort inside of here. I'm gonna start turning the paper like this so you guys can have better visibility into it. You guys are gonna think it's ridiculous what I do here to kind of indicate gravel. I literally take a pen and just over and over and over again a few hundred times. I did it on I haven't published this map yet, but oh yeah, I had some mistakes here. Yeah, so this map, just this little area here, wanted to give kind of a gravelly feature to it, so I'm just do, and then I decided to kind of do it all around. But yeah, I don't know if I'll have you suffer through that or not. We'll see. I want to keep doing this. could certainly be a puzzle, and that's with these maps that I put together, I typically don't have much of a story behind them. It's more just kind of the laying out the map. When I publish them, I use gmbinder.com to just do a little one pager, and I put the map at the top, and then I do write kind of on the left column a little bit of this is what I'm doing with these maps, and I'm trying to learn and teach myself to draw, that sort of thing. In the right column, then I give what I call inspiration, what is it, general inspiration, I think is the headline I use, something along those lines. But ultimately it's just to kind of maybe to describe the stonework or the floors or the whatevers of it, and if there's any secret rooms, I tend to call those out. So I put that out there as just kind of fodder for GMs to use, for DMs to use for their own campaigns. I haven't really made any of these with a particular story in mind. The last one that I did, which will get published in a few weeks, is an inn I needed for my campaign. So that was really the first time that I've done one of these maps that I had a purpose for. But yeah, I do tend to leave it open. So things like puzzles, I won't go into detail of what it is, but you absolutely could. And there could be some sort of, back to that thing we were talking about in this room, the secret door, there could be some sort of puzzle to open it. What do we want to do in here? I think we're gonna do like a natural pond of some sort. So we'll just let it run off into here. So this center part is intended to be water, and I think what we'll do is maybe do some kind of ferny looking grasses mixed in here. We'll try to keep some rotation and some. I don't do great at random sometimes. I tend to space things evenly, and I try not to. When I do underground stuff like dungeons and whatnot, I find myself with the hatching doing the same thing over and over again, and so I've started to okay, I'm gonna turn the paper this way and hatch, just do random, and then turn the paper and kind of build off of that. Seems to be a reasonable way for me to get some randomness. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it is a sketchbook. It's certainly going to have that look, and I'm probably going to go away from this particular one. It's reasonable in size, and I don't want to do necessarily huge maps. However, being spiral bound and having my hand off the table, ½ inch, this is a fairly thick book. I find that I get inconsistency in drawn lines and whatnot. So I think what I'm going to do here is get some 8.5 by 11 sheets of dot grid paper, and I'm probably going to increase the height on my camera here so that way we can have a better viewing surface. But the problem is this webcam doesn't it's a Logitech 920. It doesn't zoom super well. So we have that going for us. Or against us. All right. Draw some little happy bushes in here. Let's see here. Let me do a bigger one over here. So give these a little accents in here. Show some more roughage. Like so. Maybe there needs to be. Ooh, how would we want to represent that? I was thinking like a statue or something. You know what I am gonna do? Bring out the inner Bob Ross and Get some happy little trees out here. Da, da, da. It's interesting when you go from using that really fine. What is this? Oh, no wonder. I didn't realize I was using the wrong pen that whole time. That's fine. I'll be going over that stuff again. But to go from a 0.05 to what is essentially a 0.5, it's like I'm drawing with a concrete block. So you absolutely could make a map in CAD. Yeah, that's so. A little background on me, and 1 second here. I need to think for a second. All right, so I'm approaching 40. I've made a career in software. I build web applications for a living. I have a small dev shop here in the Midwest, and but prior going down this path, I actually intended to be an architect. Was going to go to school for architecture and do that, and he was using CAD on a regular basis, and really enjoyed it. And you can make all kinds of stuff. I think you're not gonna have a look and feel like this. It will be more, crisp lines and whatnot, but the upside to doing it in CAD or the people that do Photoshop work, you screw up, you can fix it. You can fix it right then and there. I'm writing in pen. If I screw up, I either make it work or I do like I did earlier, I think before a few of you joined, I've started over. When I originally started with this plan, I told myself that I was going to not start over, period. If I made a mistake, I was just going to make it work. And that lasted for about 7 maps. And it happened to be, I believe because this is the 9th one we're doing here. The 7th map, it was the one I mentioned earlier about needing to pre-plan, and I wanted to have a specific number of rooms and kind of a specific layout. And I just kept screwing up because I had pre-planned it and wasn't counting squares appropriately or whatever it was. But you can certainly use CAD for what we're doing here. Okay, so I think we're gonna turn our attention back to the interior, and I think what I want to do is I want to bring this like so, and I think we will do a double, and another thing with something like CAD is, and I suppose the same is true for Photoshop. I need to put this tiny one away so I don't pick it up again. The other thing with something like that, you can see, at least from a building layout here, my buildings tend to be pretty symmetrical. A left and a right or top bottom. You could get away with cheating, and that you could draw, half the building or half the layout, and then mirror that layout, saving yourself the time on drawing and measuring and whatnot. So it would certainly be a tool to use. Do you work in CAD on a regular basis? Is it a job of yours, or what's the skinny? Let's get some windows in here. We'll wait till we You know what? I want to fatten these up. All right, we're getting the big boy out. So you'll see that this is a 0.8, kind of falling in this range here. These others are pretty huge. Wow, I think I just learned something. I've had a 0.5 this whole time. This was over here out of order, and I thought I was going from a 0.3 to a 0.8. I might have to give this 0.5 a try at some point. Anyways. Oh, right on. I don't know if you're familiar with GM Binder. GM Binder is a home brewing application that I created, and we just got a new Patreon. Fantastic. Anyways, let's see. Oh yeah, we're gonna do walls. So again, kind of a. I gotta switch my camera back over. There we go. So I don't know how well this is gonna come up, but this is a pretty fat one here at a 0.8. Pretty fat tip. So we'll use this to darken. All of the lines. I try to, especially when I'm doing this part, I try to always, I'm right-handed, and it seems to work better if I just pull to the right. I seem to get a smoother line. And if you notice, I was talking earlier about the notebook. I like to keep it when I'm doing this, to keep this above me so my hand's not dragging across it. Yeah. Alright, I don't think I missed any. Fairly simple from an exterior, from a wall standpoint. Oh, hey, chat, hold on. Alright, currently debugging an elemental powered steam engine. Damn sad. We'll make it in game if we had backstory and pick of it. Right on. Yeah, that's... the campaign that I run, so we just started our campaign, or my phase of it, I guess. We, another coworker of mine, he ran a Lost Mines Fandelen campaign with 4 of us as players, and he was a DM. He wanted to play, and I was more than happy to take over as DM. I enjoy these sorts of things and creating and whatnot. And that's one thing I guess when he was running his campaign, relatively by the book and whatnot, we were all fairly new to playing 5th edition, and it was great. As we've started doing this, and because of what I've done with sorry, oh yeah, no, this, I can read poorly spelled words. I read my own stuff. Anyways, one of the things that I told the group, and we had a couple new people join as well, if there was any homebrew content that you wanted to use, I'm all for it. We're going to use the rules as written, but if you come to me with something, we'll definitely consider it and put it to use. And that might... guess where I'm going with that is the thing that I told them all is, you need to come prepared. I don't have time to go out and find you some rando monk class that you want to play or whatever it is. You need to show up with what it is and tell me about it and teach me about it. And if it sounds like it'll add more flavor to the game, I'm all for it. So the reason, and hold on a second actually, the reason I'm going over these particular lines is because I drew them with a pen I didn't intend to use. I don't typically go over these thin lines, but I want to kind of give this some definition. So I'm using a 0.3 right now. And what I had used here on accident was a 0.05. Nearly the smallest that I have. It's not about the size, it's how you use it. All right, and I should clarify, I'm not going to go over all of this other stuff that's in here. That was actually perfect to use something a little smaller, I think, to give the more detail. I just wanted to get the perimeter of this little gardeny pond thing that's in here. You know, as a DM, one thing you could do is, because there is this thing, so this would be like a concrete sort of, or stonework of some sort. You could have a secret door inside of here, or there could be like a drain or something like that that opens up and takes you underneath the castle somehow. I think I'm going to give this some hatching. Let's go with something a little smaller. Let's get back to our tiny... I'm just kind of drawing some random lines in here. I don't know how well it's going to show up for on the camera, because it's pretty tiny. Alright, I think we're going to give some little ripples in there. Okie dokie. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to do the gravel thing. That's going to be pretty brutal on the sound and on the camera shake, so I'll probably do that off camera. Yeah, maybe I won't even do it. Just leave it as is. Oh, you know what? That's something I can do. Get rid of that. Pop out the 0.3. I've kind of found doing these little random grass clumps does a good job in conveying what the surface is. Kind of time consuming because I tend to move my hand around the paper quite a bit to fill it in. I don't like to concentrate into a particular area. Okay, we may find ourselves doing some more of those here in a little bit, but for now, we are going to put Mr. Fatty Fat Pan away and get out Mambo number 5. And I think what I want to do So, entry, throne room, a big area here, fancy pants, 25 feet in height. These big pillars here, which I think I am going to fill these in. And so yeah, big room, kind of a carpety thing leading up to the throne. Got some stairs and a statue behind. Maybe we could pop some statues out in here or something like that. I think I might just draw those as circles because I hate drawing stars. We got a little pencil mark from earlier. Sorry for the camera shake. Bring it a little more here. So what my thinking is, or what my question is at this point is, this is kind of the area, these towers here, you know, I'll get some windows in here in a little bit, probably in all of these facets of these two towers. But would these be used for like guards? Would you know, if there's something going on, there's like extra reserves in here of 10 or 15 troops on each side. So would I leave this as a pretty open room? Do I put a staircase in here? Maybe along here. I'll draw up here on this one. Kind of want it on an interior. Do we just do like a ladder? A ladder in the corner. No, I think I'm gonna do a staircase because I want to leave this open as potential for me to do a second map that is a second floor in here. But I think for now I'm just gonna put in a staircase of some sort. Yeah, I'm kind of a dummy head on the whole number 5 or 0.5. That's right. Now I'm regretting putting in 2 doors because it would have worked well, but the reason why I put 2 doors in is thinking if this was kind of like, you know, guards are stationed in here when there's some sort of you know, high tension, whatever, they have more flow to get out. They can go directly towards the door if they need to, or they can go towards the king or queen, or both. That's what I think I'll do. Yeah. I'm going to do in the center essentially a spiral staircase. So I want to make sure that I do this the same on both sides. So I'm going to flip this around. And so this would be 5, so kind of in our 5 tile area, up 5, 10, 15, 20. So that goes with the idea that this is a 20 foot high. Yeah, you see guards in the towers. Yeah, so I think by doing this leaves a rather large hole. So we will, you know, if we do a second, when and if I do a second floor, probably do some sort of banister or something like that around it. But it leaves a 10-foot wide, for the most part. This is a little narrow, but a 10-foot wide platform on that second level. I think now would be a good time to throw in, where are we at here? Throw in some windows. Do it in all of these. All right. So I think we got our stairs going up in the center on a second floor. That would be, the center would essentially be open. We'll go ahead and kind of indicate. We got like a banister railing on here. Yeah, I dig it. All right, let's get some windows in our main area. We have these big pillars here, so I think I'm gonna offset it in the center of these. And I don't think I'm gonna put any, I'll put windows in this room and here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This room. I'm not going to put any in that one with the staircase leading downtown. Oh, dooby. I do like the idea of that. I need to look at something real quick. So one of the, hold on. So one of the, make sure I don't have any, I've got all kinds of notes scribbled on this paper. One of, I guess, my inspiration, if you will, for doing this is Dyson Logos. It has some fantastic tutorials. The hatching that I do is similar to him, and I think it seems like every other cartographer that does this style of drawing seems to do a very similar hatching as him. But this is pretty slick for finding things, and so what I want to do is like I'm not going to draw a secret door. Kind of goes back to what I said earlier, and I just realized I was potentially putting myself in a hole. The reason why I don't do that, or why I'm not going to do that, is because I want the DMs to be able to do their own thing. And if they don't want a secret door, they don't want a secret door. But more importantly, when I am done with these maps, I format them in such a way that they can work on Roll20. So I put them into, I use Pixelmator. I don't have Photoshop, so I use Pixelmator because it's cheap and it does what I want. But I do clean these up a little bit in that I take out all the color. This is kind of a tan paper, and I size them appropriately, so it's a grid of 140 pixels. It's usually, where are we at here? I think 46 by 25 or 40 by 25 is what this piece of paper ends up being. But when I do like secret doors, like say there was a secret door to going out to somewhere out here, I would leave a gap here and actually draw the secret door. I'll just show you. It's easier to do that way. This is actually going to kind of kill the time lapse by doing this. So anyways, if there was a secret door, I wouldn't actually put it on this wall. I would leave a gap and put the secret door across the way from it. That way, as you're showing it in Roll20 and you're using Fog of War, you can make this room visible and your players have no idea that, oh, there's a secret door there because I see it on the map. They'd actually have to investigate to find it and whatnot. So if I put a trap door in that room and indicated that, then it would be obvious. So I'm not going to do that. But what I will do, sorry about that. What I will do is I will, in my notes, because I do think it's a good idea for something like that, in my notes that I was talking about, I'll include a little snippet about, hey, there's maybe a secret door down in the in that back room. So I'll get that there. All right, we need to do some there's just not a lot of detail here. So let's think about these back rooms and what they are. I think that these potentially are, you know, kind of guard rooms back here as well. I'm also thinking more storage. That's what this room here was more. So I think we'll throw some shelves kind of on the walls of various sizes. This song always, I just think it's interesting. I don't even know what game this is from. What is this? Assassin's Breath. So is this from a King Arthur? The movie or game? I'm not sure. I've never seen it. Anyways, so yeah, we got some shelves in here. Maybe this is storage or what have you, you know, stuff. I think we'll kind of do the same sort of thing in here. Be kind of generic about it. Excuse me. Sorry, I didn't get the mute soon enough. Hey, thanks for the chats and whatnot. It's good to have somebody to bounce some ideas off of and listen to my ramblings. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, contrary to what I just said about, no secret door or what have you. I'm not necessarily calling this a secret. It's a grate, and it goes down, and it's up to the DM if this is a thing. If it's a thing, fantastic. If it's not, it's just a grate in the floor. And the fact that there's two of them has nothing to do with anything. Because if that's not what the DM wants to do, then that's not what the DM's going to do. But if this one wants to be a little loose, or this one wants to be a little loose, and it drops down into a room, so be it. Yeah, I totally think I'm gonna have to do additional maps. I feel like this place needs a basement. I don't know if I feel like doing it today or not. We'll see. Alright, so I think what I'm gonna do, F5 is too big, and 0503, 3, we're gonna go with the 3s. Let's see how this does. So Happy little dots, happy little gravel stones. This double pen idea is pretty slick, except I gotta really pay attention to where they are landing and not do like that little bullshit in there and make a streak. This ought to be interesting to see how this shows up in the time lapse. Woodpecker. Alright, I think we're gonna call that good there. Uh-oh. Not used to having two pens open at once. I gotta actually make sure I put the caps on the right ones. Alright. So, I think I'm talking to myself again. That's alright. Practice makes perfect. Trying to think from any extra little stuffs. I kind of think I might just like, oh, you know what we talked about doing? We talked about doing a, I think I'm gonna go with a 3 though. Kind of a, if I do a platform for a statue. I hate drawing stars. I don't know what I'm doing. How does a person not know how to make stars? Like, what? How did I draw that card in life? Yeah, that's kind of a star. So I know it's something like cross. I don't fucking know. Lame. Looks like a little dude in there. Yeah, this is like not a star at all. Yeah. I better just leave it alone before it becomes a circle. Oh, lame. Alright, man, I feel like there should be a pillar here, like something that's in more, but I think I'm gonna leave it out, because that would be kind of blocking for these little guard towers. I think we're going to call this good for this particular map. I'm going to go take a break, and I might come back and do another one. We'll see. We'll do a twofer. A twofer. Alright, I'll leave this sit here for a second for the end of the time lapse. I'm going to zoom it in so you can take a closer gander at the thing. The happy little thing that we, whoops, yeah, no, that's what I wanted, yeah, Bump it in one more. There we go. I like that. All right. I'll save this for the end of the video. I'm gonna leave this sit here for a minute. I'm gonna mute myself, consider the video done at this point, and I think I may do a second map here in a little bit. So if you happen to catch this, maybe we'll see you yet again today. Thanks.